Today I'm going to talk about how to figure out if a group board is healthy, should you stay on it, should you leave it, etc. So we're going to use a combination of Tailwind and Pinterest to figure this out. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is head over to Pinterest and click on the Boards tab from your profile. Now from here it's going to load all of your boards. You can sort them A to Z, blah blah blah, and your group boards are going to be mixed in with your regular boards. So how do you tell the difference between a group board and a regular board? Well, you've got the group board has the little icon that's divided into like a pie graph, and the boards that you own alone or that are not group boards do not have the pie graph. So if you own a group board, like I own one here, it's going to show your profile picture in the larger piece of the pie and then some of the other members in the smaller piece of the pie. So that's how to tell the difference between group boards and regular boards. So I've got the group boards on here, and it's kind of hard to tell which ones are doing well and which ones aren't, right? We can just go kind of look at it and say, okay, well this one, it has a lot of pins, it has a lot of followers, and it also has a lot of contributors. So like, how do I know if this is good or bad or whatever? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Tailwind and look at the analytics, because that's going to give us a lot more information than just going to Pinterest and trying to figure it out on visual. So what we're going to do is we can sort our boards here on Tailwind, Tailwind's Insights section here. We can sort them by group boards, secret boards, regular boards, or everything all together. So I just have the group board section checked, and that's going to show me all of the group boards. What we want to do is start sorting it by some of these different metrics here up at the top. So the first thing we want to look at is the repins per pin. What boards are getting the most repins per pin? So our best crafts and DIY is getting a lot of repins per pin. I believe that's mine. No, that's not my board. That's someone else's board. Okay, so that looks really good. And then the engagement score is there's 1 repin per follower. So if you were to divide that all out, an engagement score of 1 is pretty darn good. Now, the next thing that we want to look at is we've got virality score, right? This one is really high. This one's the next highest, next highest, next highest. We want to kind of scroll down and see where that starts to drop off. So once it starts to drop off to under 10, these are boards we might want to dump, and definitely anything with a virality score of under 1 is something we really might want to get rid of. Now, what are some that you might not want to get rid of? Well, this one, Dream House, this is just my family's group board. So this might be a group board that I should make secret, because it's really just for my personal stuff, and it's not something that other people are really adding to or that we're really using for anything significant. So this is also a good way to kind of figure out, are there any group boards you're using for personal use that should be made secret because they don't really relate to your business? So anything down here, I might want to add these things to a list of possible group boards that I do not want to be keeping. Maybe I want to leave them. So I'm going to go over to this one, favorite organizing ideas. You can click on this little box with the arrow to make it open up, and I'm going to go check out that board. So I've figured out, okay, this may not be a good board to be on. It's got a terrible virality score. The engagement score is really, really low as well. It's got 17,000 followers, which is nice, 26,000 repins, so that's good. It's going up. So those are good signs, but let's go and check it out. So what we want to look for is how many people are pinning to it. We've got 1,100 people pinning to it. Not so good. We also have this lady who looks like a pothead or vapor or something pinning to it, and this board's about organizing ideas. If this board was about pot or vaping or something like that, that lady might be a good contributor. But because it's about organizing, she's not the kind of person that my people are going to be like, yeah, I feel like this is a good board. So it makes me wonder, I don't know, the people who are pinning to this, there's a lot of them. I don't know that these people are necessarily going to be putting quality content that relates to this topic on here. So I've already got some red flags going up. So how many people do you want to have on here? You know, how many people can you manage? Like 10 is a good number. 40, maybe no more than like 50 to 100 people on this group board would be a good idea. So when you have a lot of contributors, it's really hard to manage all of them. Some of them are not going to be pulling their weight. As we can see, there's only 32,000 pins on here. There probably should be more with this many pinners, because that's 32 pins per pinner, so that's not very many. And it's hard to manage all of these people, you know, to make sure that you're getting people who are in that niche who are going to add to the health of the board. So a couple red flags. The other thing we want to look at is the description on the board. This is great. It has some good keywords, organizing ideas, organized life. So great that there's keywords in there, but there are no rules. So people can just pin whatever to this. So what is an organizing idea? Is this standing desk an organizing idea? I don't know. Are these rope shelves an organizing idea? Maybe. What about this one? What do you do with your, how much money is your stuff costing you? Is that an organizing idea? What about this? Somebody just threw a bunch of their grill and a light, like it's just rando stuff. So there's no, because there's no rules, there's no rules saying I can't put this picture of a light on here. And so what it looks like is some spammers like Gadget Flow got on here and started just dumping all their stuff. These aren't good pin images. These are not, you know, 2:3 ratio. They're not vertical. Some of these are great, right? Back to school printables, family budget planner, how to organize your spices, declutter your room. There's some really good stuff, but there's also a bunch of trash. And so this is one that I might put on the chopping block just because at the end of the day, it's not necessarily the best experience for people who are following it, because you've got, you know, just somebody coming on and dumping all of their products on here, because with 1,100 people, you can't manage this very well. So you want to go through all those boards that have under 1 for the virality score. If, you know, kind of basically the lower 10% is what you want to look at and assess the health of. Now, besides virality score, we do want to look at engagement score. So what has the worst engagement scores? So this one has 0. That's terrible. And only 2 repins. So that's really bad. This one, really bad engagement score, really bad. So why is this? Well, this board's about Christmas, and we're like 6 months away from Christmas. So that would have some explanation as to why this isn't a very good board, or it's not doing very good right now. This one, again, this is spring. It's not spring anymore, and so that's why this might be lower. So on these seasonal boards, you want to watch, you know, kind of when it gets closer to that season to check the health. So you might just want to make a note of this, you know, that you need to check the health of this one when it gets back to that season again. So let's go look at this one. Engagement score is 0.02, 15,000 followers, 1,000 pins. So let's see what's happening on this board. This board should be hopping because we're getting into back to school season. Fast and healthy food should be something that is going to perform well on Pinterest. So 37 contributors. That is awesome. That's like right in the range that we want to be in. Easy to make meals, main courses, 30 minutes or less. We've got some really, really good keywords here. The title has really, really good keywords. I would want to see some more beefed up description here. Possibly that might help with making this a little bit healthier as far as the engagement rate. And then maybe some rules for the board. I mean, I think she's cherry picked who is contributing to this board. So that's probably why she's like, hey, you guys know what a fast and healthy food meal and main course is. And so we've got great photos and pins here. This is one of my pins. Everything's appetizing. These are all long pin images. So even though this isn't giving me a ton of traffic and it's not having a ton of activity, it's totally on the right track. So why isn't it giving me a lot of traffic? Well, I've only seen one of my, oh, there's another one of my pins so far. So only 3 of my pins. So I would want to get more active on here and then maybe message the group board admin and say, hey, how can we get this to be a little more active so that we can bump these numbers up? Because everything else about this is good, is visually, you know, the title's good, the description's good, the content is good, the number of pinners is good. So why is this so low? It's on the upward trend, but it's probably so low because there's just not enough activity on the board. So another one that I would want to go talk to the board admin before I delete myself off of it. So I hope this gives you some ideas on ways to check out if your group boards are healthy or not on Pinterest. We want to make sure that our content is standing out in the feed, and one of the best ways to do that is to get it out on group boards. You know, sometimes we can be in group boards that really aren't giving us a benefit. Now, do you want to get even more group board strategy ideas? Click the link down in the video description to get a free guide on how to use group boards like a pro. Now, if you thought that this video was helpful, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're wherever you're watching this, YouTube, Facebook, wherever, hit that share button and share it with a friend. Sharing is caring, and you can help your blogger friends and the other people on your group boards have a better group board strategy by having more information and knowledge. So if you tag them or share them, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.